We all remember that crazy moment when Seth Rollins won the WWE title at WrestleMania 31 thanks to his Money in the Bank briefcase. He made us dream with unforgettable matches, shocking scenes, and we're going to relive together the best moments of his career. We think, for example, of his very first appearance on the main roster. It's November 2012 at Survivor Series, and the main event is a title match between CM Punk, John Cena, and Ryback. The latter had just taken the C-Nation leader's finisher when, all of a sudden, we have three men dressed in black who arrive and completely destroy him.
No way!
They end up throwing him on a commentator's table, and it's simply the debut of The Shield. This is the faction that impacted Rollins' first years in the company, alongside Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. I think it was really memorable because it enabled CM Punk to keep his belt in the main event of a Big Four pay-per-view. That is what we call an impact.
Seth Rollins! All from NXT! What the hell are they doing out here?
This first appearance makes us think of the day when Seth Rollins destroyed The Shield. It's June 2nd, 2014, and the day before they had just beaten Evolution at the Payback show. While they are in the ring, Triple H says the iconic phrase,
"There's always a plan B."
And here comes the shock. Seth Rollins attacks his two buddies with a chair. We will also note a fan who is really screaming at this precise moment and who was disgusted that the Shield was imploding.
Oh my God!
He completely demolished them to finally join the game and Randy Orton. This Rollins heel turn gave him another dimension, and from there his career took off. This first singles highlight resulted in an important success at the Money in the Bank show. We are a few weeks after his betrayal, and he will win the famous briefcase in the ladder match after a little help from Kane.
Damn well that Kane was sent out here!
I would like to take this opportunity to say I love the theme song he had at that time. This victory will enable him to cash in at WrestleMania 31 and win his first WWE title. We must realize this was the first time a wrestler did this in the main event of the biggest show of the year. On that day, Seth made history. The whole scene was really amazing. I think it was complete madness, and the final celebration was awesome.
Sit in for the first time in WrestleMania!
Seth Rollins is perhaps Roman Reigns' most important enemy between the destruction of the Shield and that match at WrestleMania 31, where he faced Brock Lesnar initially. A defining moment in the Architect's career is the time he beat him in their first decisive one-on-one match at Money in the Bank in 2016. Seth returned from injury a few weeks earlier. We can say that since then he has really been a ghost of Roman Reigns' past that keeps haunting him. At the 2022 Royal Rumble, the Tribal Chief will not beat him and will have a nervous breakdown against him. And at WrestleMania 40, Rollins distracted him, which helped Cody Rhodes win. It clearly makes the fans want to see a final face-off between them to bury this past for good. Another historic achievement of Seth Rollins is what he did at SummerSlam in 2015. At that time, he was the WWE Champion and he was facing John Cena, the United States Champion. In this match, the winner would win both belts, and that's what Seth did, with the help of host Jon Stewart. I must say that I am a fan of the white outfit he had. What a glory it was for him to become a double champion at SummerSlam. Unfortunately, this great dynamic will end for him when he gets injured a few weeks later.
May not look like a champion right now. Give me a few months. The whole game's gonna change, man.
But at the Battleground show in 2016, a memorable clash will take place. We are a few weeks after his return from injury, and there was a dream match. Rollins against Reigns against Ambrose. A triple threat with the former members of the Shield. I still think they should have kept it for SummerSlam or WrestleMania instead. At the beginning of the match, we had a great moment when Seth offered his former colleagues to do their fist gesture again, but Roman wasn't taking any of that.
Roman Reigns.
It was a spectacular battle with a lot of suspense, since the managers of Raw and SmackDown each wanted to have the WWE Champion on their show. But in the end, it was Ambrose who prevailed. This will not prevent Rollins from becoming one of Raw's top guys the following months. He will go in pursuit of Kevin Owens' Universal title and also have one of his best matches at Survivor Series when he was part of the Raw team against SmackDown. Of course, one of the biggest moments of Rollins' career is WrestleMania 33. We are in Orlando at the Camping World Stadium, and he faced the man who took him under his wing 3 years before, Triple H. There was a great story between them, especially since the cerebral assassin had turned against his boy because he kept disappointing him.
I gave up everything to stand next to you, and for what? For what?
After magnificent entrances, Seth beat his former mentor at the grandest stage of them all and became the man who beat the King of Kings, the Kingslayer. It's 2019 and Seth Rollins' career seemed to run out of steam. For 2 years, he had mainly wrestled in the tag team division and was Intercontinental Champion. But at the Royal Rumble, he will totally revive it by winning the Battle Royale with a final curb stomp on Braun Strowman. This will lead to what will remain one of his biggest highlights: a Universal title bout against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 35.
Seth Rollins!
In 2 minutes and 30 seconds and after 3 stomps in a row, he will defeat the Beast Incarnate to win the belt and become the Beast Slayer. Once again, he defeats a very big name at the showcase of the Immortals. On the other hand, I found him more boring as a babyface, and he will be less and less popular over the months.
The age of Rollins is here!
It also reminds me of a notable moment in Seth's career, but not for the good reasons. It is October 6, 2019, and he defended his Universal title against The Fiend in a Hell in a Cell match. While everything was supposed to be allowed given the stipulation, it will end with a disqualification. Some consider it the worst match of the year, and Rollins was so disappointed by this ending that he even wanted to strangle Vince McMahon on his way back to the locker room. It's 2021, and Seth Rollins is going to have what is one of his best rivalries against the rated R superstar, Edge. They will compete at SummerSlam, then at Madison Square Garden and Crown Jewel. One scene that I personally enjoyed is the night Rollins went to his rival's house. On the evening of October 1st, they were supposed to confront each other in the ring, but Seth decided instead to go visit his home. The segment was great, his acting was awesome, with some hilarious trolling towards his opponent.
That's the girls. I know they're young, but that's rotten.
It's always entertaining when a storyline goes beyond the ring. It was fun to see Rollins invade Edge's personal life to push even further the hatred there was between them.
Daughters are gorgeous. Thank God they look like meth, right?
It is now 2024, and for several months, Seth Rollins has been the heavyweight champion. On January 15th, he will successfully defend his title against Jinder Mahal. The reason why this moment was special in his career is because 12 years earlier, it was against the Indian that he had become the first NXT champion ever in July.
Emotional Seth Rollins!
It was a victory that showed the hopes that the Federation put in him for the future. When he faced Jinder after all these years, we could only appreciate his evolution. It's crazy to think that this 26-year-old will later become the architect, the Monday Night Messiah, the visionary, and in the end the nickname that sums him up best.
Seth freaking Rollins!
We are at WrestleMania 40, and this weekend will be very important for Becky Lynch's husband. In just 48 hours, he will have a 44-minute team match with Cody Rhodes against Roman Reigns and The Rock. He will lose his heavyweight title against Drew McIntyre, who will suffer a cash-in at WrestleMania from Damian Priest, just like Seth did in 2015. Finally, he will have a pivotal role in the main event between Cody and Roman since he distracted his old Shield brother. Rollins will have been very active at the showcase of the Immortals. The Rock will describe him as the most valuable player of this WrestleMania 40, which he totally earned.
Into prominence. He's the man who made it.
We can say that Seth Rollins already has an amazing career. I hope you had a good time watching this video, and I invite you to stay on the Paradise of Wrestling to look at some other ones. See you right away.
And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so. What?